freaks and weirdos, tapeheads, ghouls and ghosts, love to tune in and listen to Psychotronic Coast to Coast. Skin Slip and Owen Neal are going to reveal their thoughts on movies that most people don't dare to watch. Psychotronic. 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 And welcome to another exciting episode of Psychotronic Coast to Coast, where I totally jacked up the intro as it started off too quiet, and Owen was making snip noises for the whole thing. But he can replace it in post, which is the best part about this whole thing. He was making karate chop noises with Daniel-san. We watched a movie. Yeah, we'll call it a movie. Called Rotgut, sent over to us by Alternative Cinema. They sent this and the Slime City Massacre double feature, which we still haven't been able to cover because Owen still does not have a copy because Alternative Cinema has not responded to my email. And I will bring that up every time it's pertinent. Alright, so this is a 2016 movie which has some homages to share with us. But, yeah. Owen, do you want to just plow right into this and we'll get going?
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's go.
All right. So it starts out, you see someone dumping a bunch of booze into a dumpster.
Yeah.
Two homeless-looking guys find one bottle that is not broken. They proceed to drink, and they eat there's a worm in it.
And eat it like idiots.
Yeah.
Well,
one of the guys drinks it.
In the movie universe, they're idiots, but in real life, it's probably not a bad idea. Probably had a lot of fun with that.
There was a joke about how makes you horny. If you eat
right.
it.
I'll just point out this scene is actually an homage to Street Trash, which we previously covered on Psychotronic Coast to Coast. Or at least it appears to be, whether it's intentional or not. Well, who knows? Sometimes it's like subconscious. You don't mean to reference something. You're like, oh, yeah, I did see that a long time ago. Like, happens. So that's an unintentional homage.
Yeah,
anyway.
They finish off the bottle. One of them swallows the worm. It's not really a worm. What is it? It's like a
slug.
A larva.
The moth larva, yeah.
And they gotta pass out, and then as they get up to go somewhere, one of the worm pops out of his eyeball.
Yep, and then we get the opening credits, and you don't get to see anything cool for another 40 minutes.
Pretty much.
40 long minutes of character building with characters you have no interest in. And I don't remember any of their names, except Sloppy.
Yeah, Sloppy, you get Tom, you get the Professor.
Oh yeah, the Professor, right. And John Cena, Diet John Cena, that's all right.
I think there was Leon.
Sure. Anybody remember the soldier's name? Okay, he's Diet John Cena then, because we can't remember his name.
There's a lesbian.
Yeah, who just points out the fact that she used to be a crack whore and used to be a prostitute to pay for that addiction, but that she totally wasn't doing dick anymore. She didn't say she wasn't doing crack, just wasn't doing dick anymore.
Apparently. She said she wasn't doing either, especially no dicks.
Oh, especially not dicks. You're right. She did say that. Especially not dicks, because she has to be literally the worst trope of a lesbian ever written. God, her character was super annoying.
Yeah. I still think we should touch on that part. It was just like their name would show up, and there was like a couple seconds of them doing something. It's like she had just apparently beaten up her and her girlfriend beat the shit out of each other, and then it cuts to the soldier getting off a bus, and then it put his name there.
That comes right after this opening sequence. It's like What the
It
fuck?
just kept going like that. It was just like,
10 characters introduced in like 30 seconds.
yeah. And one of them is running a bar. He has to go in on a Sunday, and he acts like they have no booze, but they do. But he buys some shitty booze for $30, which is the bad booze with the worms in it.
Yeah, what was it called? I've already forgotten the name.
Something Spanish.
Yeah, it's Moscal, but I can't remember what the name of it was.
It had like a Grim Reaper on the bottle.
Yeah, it had some cool name, and apparently not cool enough for me to fucking remember 10 minutes after watching it. Of course, I forgot most of the movie while taking a pee before we went to do this episode, so... Yeah, it's all this character building. After that,
Yep.
for 40 minutes, just different pieces here and there.
Why, you want to skip right to the end already?
No, I'm just pointing it out. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, he opens the bar, and then everyone that you introduce slowly starts trickling in. And we have to learn more about them, even though we don't care. And
Yep.
it drags, and it drags, and it drags.
Yeah.
And then
We got like
finally,
a even chubbier Will Wheaton. We got Diet John Cena. We got the professor who's playing. Who was it? Who did I say he was playing earlier?
the guy from Ghostbusters.
Oh, he's doing a yeah. He's doing a Egon. Fuck, what's his name? Oh.
You said it too.
I know. Oh God, cut this long thing out of my brain. Harold Ramis. He felt like he was being like a really weird pastiche of Harold Ramis. And not in an endearing way, but in like all the annoying parts of Harold Ramis is in this character.
Yeah. And Tom's the guy in the suit, and he's the kind of Will Wheaton-esque. Also a little later, fat Russell Crowe.
Yeah. We were making Russell Crowe jokes at first with him. Daniel Crowe.
All mashed together.
Russell's lesser known, cheaper to hire brother.
But yeah, they all start funneling in, and finally Sloppy, the homeless guy, he's the only one that's drinking the bad booze, and he finally, after way too long, he swallows one of the worms. Which you missed, like the main guy went to the office and left the girl in charge, and then he grabbed the booze when she wasn't looking and started chugging it.
Oh,
that's how he got the win.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, he goes in the bathroom and pukes a bunch of blood out.
Yeah, he's only like, which way are you coming out? Which way are you coming out? He's like, he didn't know if he's gonna shit or puke. And I was like, yeah, I feel your pain, Sloppy. I feel it. I know them feels. And then he puked. And I was like, yeah.
And then nobody really thought about him for a while.
Well, I mean, he was just a homeless guy.
Yeah.
To them, they're too busy with their own problems, you know?
Kind of, and during this point, we're also introduced to the ATF.
Yes.
3 ATF guys. They show up where the guy, he's like, I threw it in the dumpster. And then they find the empty bottle from the homeless dudes. And at some point in there, the homeless dude that survived runs in, got the blood on his face from his friend, yelling about worms. He then freaks out when he sees that booze bottle in the bar. He runs out the back door and shoves a car against it, which comes into play later. But we never see him again.
Yeah, he got away.
He was out.
He did the right thing. He ran the fuck away.
Still chasing him.
He was like, fuck this
that's
shit.
never mentioned again. Like, that guy had worms in him, and at some point he must have not exploded, but all the worms must have came out. So there's just worms outside of the bar, but
somewhere.
Well, we don't need to remember that.
Yeah, right. There's no sequel or anything. Nope.
Eventually, the waitresses boyfriend shows up. There's a whole story how he abuses her. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit to her. He abuses her emotionally and physically. Yeah.
He's the first guy to finally go in the bathroom, and then of course he gets attacked by worms.
Yay, we all cheered because that guy's an asshole.
And trying to remember, he goes in the bathroom behind his girlfriend. It's like apologizing to her, but they're telling him to hurt her, which apparently I guess the worms are telling him to hurt her.
I guess it wasn't very clear.
I don't know. He hurts her anyway, so she was like, "What?" And a worm starts coming out of her mouth. She freaks out, runs out. But then when the bartender goes back there, there's nobody around. They do eventually see Sloppy, though, dead in there. So they assume that the boyfriend had killed Sloppy.
Right, that is correct.
And at one point, the bartender owner shows up earlier. He doesn't really come back till later. Not the bartender owner, but the bar owner.
Oh yeah, the bar owner. Yeah, the bartender owner. I was like, what? He owns the big guy?
Well, technically. He was a former felon.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You know, a bunch of more bullshit no one cares about. And then some crackheads show up, rob them, lock them in a room. And that's where the boyfriend was hiding. And he pukes a worm out on that guy who grabs his ear, and he rips his own ear off. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
And then the crackhead girlfriend was hiding some crack on him. Went to go smoke it in the bathroom when, as she called it, a snake touched her.
Yes, yes. And that was a reference to, like, Slither, you know. So, the way the snake was like, or the thing was climbing up her hip. Anyway.
The ATF guys show up, knock on the door. They called the telephone at one point, even though it never rang, that I heard.
Yeah, I think it was implied that they were calling a cell phone. Or they
Well,
were calling... No, they called the owner over to come open the door. That's what it was.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because
There
then
was
later...
a shot of them all in the bar looking at the phone. But there was just like music playing, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I just... But, I mean, like, they called, and then, like, a little bit later, the manager comes over to open the door for them. So I think that was what they were supposed to be implying.
I don't know. I guess. It makes sense.
I'm going by what I'm seeing, that's all.
There was like a shot of a telephone and they looked at it.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. I'm just going on what I got, though, you know?
But anyways, they bust out of the room. They throw the crackhead boyfriend in there and lock it. And then he eventually gets the gun away from her, which didn't even have any ammo in it. Because, you know, they're crackheads. They probably sold the bullets for crack. But finally, it starts kicking off. People are dying. I'm pretty sure it was plastic. It's the patent number for the squirt gun. It just looked like a when you have like that chrome plastic. I'm kind of blanking what's happening. The waitress, I remember she tried to numb the military guy's pain because he has no ear now with some booze. And during this point, yeah, the worm booze. And this at the same time they're kind of cutting back and forth where they're figuring out the worm came from the booze. While the crackhead was in the other room trying to get cigarettes, and a giant one was trying to climb up her crotch.
Yep. Another reference to Slither.
And they start going. Military guy kind of goes crazy.
There are a few references to Night of the Creeps in there, too. At least it feels like it.
He's smashing the bottles. At first, we thought he was trying to kill the worms. but the worms were making him do it, I believe,
Yeah, I
freeing him.
think he was like freaking out. Yeah.
And the crackhead boyfriend comes out, grabs the crackhead girlfriend. His neck's all pulsing and shit's coming out. You get to see Sloppy again. There's just worms everywhere in the bathroom at this point.
Don't go to that bathroom. Nope,
Of course, they can't get out the back door because the car is there. And the crackhead guy had the keys to the front door. Shit's just popping off in there.
Which I didn't think made sense. Can't you always leave a building like that, but you can't enter back in without keys? Isn't that the point of the keys? I don't know. Anyway, I thought that's
Probably
how
a lot.
like a lot of those public doors open, like did. You could always leave, but you can't always come in. Anyway,
I don't know. I'm just trying to remember. There's a whole scene of the professor being like, "You're stronger than you think" to that girl, and then she kind of sexually squeezes a worm.
yeah, it's really weird. She grabs one of these worms and like squeezes it so hard, like it's a dick. She's trying to break, and it shoots out white jizz everywhere.
That's the only one that did that. Everyone of the only ones that had green shit in them.
Oh, and there was that one shot. There's a random upskirt shot for no reason.
Yeah,
Just
the
like,
crackhead.
what the fuck? It was just like out of nowhere. It made no it was just, yeah, no motivation, none of it. Just just a sleazy shot. There's not like a ton of them. It's just the one I noticed. It was just like, why? Why is that even in here?
And let's see, the crackhead girl now full of worms, which apparently it's really fast. One worm gets in you, next thing you know, you're just worms with skin covering.
Fuck yo.
And she grabs the lesbian, pukes in her mouth.
Oh, it was so gross.
Infected. You get some more unnecessary story from Tom and his suit. Nobody gives a shit
Nobody gives a shit.
about why he's in the suit.
Not even Tom. Tom doesn't even fucking give a shit. He's just reading his fucking lines at this point.
And finally, the owner shows up, lets the ATF guys come in, and lesbian girl comes out. She's all crazy because she's got the worms in her, and does a weird like shot. Like one of the guys drops the flyers of like the recall of the booze, and it just points at that as the ATF guy blasts the girl, assumingly.
Yeah, it cuts to black.
It just cuts to black, and it's just like they were calling it, liquor poisoning.
Yeah,
Like
acute alcohol poisoning or whatever.
Even though there's fucking worms outside and one of the homeless guys.
Yep, somewhere loose in the wild.
So they're like, okay, that's how it's gonna end. And then no, wait, there's more. Now we're in Mexico and they're bringing dead bodies and throwing it in a hole where they apparently in this cave there. That's where they're. There's a giant worm.
A bunch of giant worms, but yeah, one really big one.
There's one really big one, and he works for it by sticking its babies into the booze and then shipping around the world to spread.
So it's kind of like the stuff in that way too.
I guess
it's sentient and it wants.
It was completely unnecessary.
But it's like the stuff in that it's sentient and it wants to be eaten. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, like there's a lot of cool things about this movie. Just
it could have been in the beginning.
Yeah,
it could have opened with that.
Dude, opening with that would have been a lot stronger, I think. Going from the brain, the bug shooting out the guy's eye, cut to black, cut back, do the Mexico thing. And you're like, what? I don't know. I mean, I'm far be it to me to tell anybody how to make their art, though. I mean, I'm just babbling. So.
Yeah, I mean, the hard smash to black when quite a few of them survive. Tom, the girl. I'm pretty sure the professor was still alive.
Yeah, somehow Professor was still alive. Jesus Christ.
The bartender.
And we just wanted Professor to die the whole time. He's a snarky piece of shit who literally knows everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
I also liked where he's like, where'd they come from? Like, that's the $1 million question. And he just instantly looks at the booze and he just knows.
Yeah. Just like, what?
It was a little jarring. Like they had like special effects, like there's a worm out of the guy's head and it's moving, and then the next shot it's a fucking CGI one moving, and then the next shot it's back to the practical one.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad CGI for the budget of the film, which is clearly very small. So,
It was just weird. Like they had the worm. We seen the practical effect, and then like just a different angle. And it's just weird CGI.
Yep.
And then cuts back to the practical one. I was like, why? Why wasn't it just always the practical one? Like I understand when it jumped out of the hole into the guy's mouth and stuff. That they obviously
there's a lot of like lines in this movie where you're just like, wow, that'd be really great if this person could act while saying this really awesome line. There's like a lot of really good quotable lines that you could remember if they were delivered with any kind of weight or like worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of these actors can really act all that well.
Yeah, even the characters you liked were just kind of flat.
They're just the least uninteresting characters, you know?
Like the waitress was supposed to be kind of like this, timid, self-esteem, but she just came off like she was a child.
Right? Everyone... Oh, excuse me, sorry. Everyone's very cartoonish in their portrayals. And I think it really hampers the proceedings because of that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. There are a lot of little things I liked about it and a lot of big things I hated. So, I don't know.
With the whole middle.
Yeah, I give it like...
It drags so much in the middle.
Oh, it's 40 minutes. There's 25 minutes could be cut out easy, man. Just get to the fucking point. Once again, just my opinion. I'm not trying to say anyone should do their art however they want to do it, but yeah, man. I give this a 2 out of 5, man. I can't give it any more than that. I like the effects. Even the CGI looked alright. But it just drags so much. Just drags it all down.
Yeah, I'd give it a 1.
Wow. Ooh, brutal. And this is not even Letterboxd either. So, yeah.
Because I don't think anyone's watched it besides us.
Yeah, I think we might be the first ones to do a review. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I point out that we did a review of this on Twitter and all that. So, what are we watching next week, Owen? It's your choice.
Oh, it is.
I forgot to mention that, way earlier.
I don't know. We'll pick something off the list.
Okay, cool. We'll surprise you guys. Sorry. Way it goes. You can't always be prepared for us.
I've been almost awake for 24 hours. So.
I'm fucking tired too. I'm with you. I'm like, I'm spacing it. I'm trying to focus on the show. This movie sapped me of all my energy. So
yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'd say it's okay. It's not great. You might like it. Give it a try. Rent it. Definitely rent it. Yeah. So we'll see you next week with something. Take it easy, guys. Peace.